Give me a moment. I need to get a mini fan so I don't overheat myself. Hold on. Hello, everyone. I am uncertain about literally every centimeter I move. I am so sorry. How are we doing? Sorry, I'm a little late. We're struggling. We're struggling. I don't know how it's already 30 degrees inside my home. It's not. This is not okay. This is not fair. We have barely started the heat wave, and what is happening? What is happening? Lulu, you tell me what's happening, please, because this is what is this? Wait, huh? Oh, what do I do? Where do I put you? I don't have the room for this. I don't do well with heat, okay? And this is gonna, well, like, at least it fits, right? I don't see you actually. Why is my screen so dark over there? Can you see me? Or am I visible? Hello, Daddy. Have you arrived? Where yet? If you want to share, you don't have to. Why did I take this? Oh, it's my charger. Um. Okay, we're struggling. It's really hot, and by the time that it's cooled down a little bit in the apartment, and I'm able to sleep, Winston gets his energy, you know, because he's a kitty, and by that time it's also already dawn. So you know he wants to play, but I kind of need sleep. So we're struggling a little bit with the weather. Oh, not that I'm having such an amazing time in my own head at the moment. Not at all. But that's really sad. It's really sad because he just doesn't want to play when it's this hot, you know. And the only moment where it's not too hot, it's we need to sleep. We need to sleep at some point. So I tried to keep him busy, but he's restless, and that is extraordinarily upsetting at the moment. If you know, you know. So, excuse me, but I'm gonna need to be a little bit more upset about something that is completely removed from my own personal life, which is why I'm here. We're gonna read this amazing, amazing, amazing piece of literature. My lifesaver somehow. And we'll just get through the bland sprint and power hour. What do you say, White? You in? Hi, Blue. Hi, Slam. That's ballet. It's about how you decided to read Ballet's biography, and 90% of the book was detailed out of as much as you like. Yeah, 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 exactly. Yeah, this is accurate. Can you go a little bit down? Because if you go right in my face, that's actually really upsetting. You're adorable, but when you're this close, you're not that effective. You're more effective when there's a little bit more distance, social distance. You know, it's good for your mental health. I promise. God, I miss those days. Hello, Duck. It is a very, very hot day in Europe. Remember to ensure that the people work for you say if you have work being done in your house or you have postal workers or bin drivers for people taking away rubbish, etc., make sure that they all have water, a bottle of water. The larger, the better. I wish I had that. That's such a good idea. I wish. I mean, I have just a bicycle. And it's kind of a challenge to get my own groceries at home at the moment. Because I'm not going outside. Thank you for the hydrate though. Oh, I forgot to fill it. I forgot to fill my water bottle. I will do that in about 14 minutes. So, wait, why are we talking about Rembrandt and Van Gogh? Lucien, what are we doing? Has anyone ever been to the Rijksmuseum, and has anyone ever seen where Van Gogh is what is it called, on display? Is it called on display? What is it called? There must be a specific name for this. I have clearly. It's so upsetting. If you haven't, first off, you have homework. Watch the Doctor Who episode of Van Gogh. Trust me, this will make your experience a lot more heartbreaking than it has to be. But honestly, maybe sometimes feeling pain is better than feeling the pain of this life. I don't know. Watch that episode. Go to the museum and remember that episode and try not to cry your eyes out. This is how I experienced it, and it was a trip, man. This close to completely breaking down. It was horrible. But that is also why it was amazing. Cold is definitely better than hot. I'm visible. I cannot see anything. It's just the brightness of my screen is completely down because I'm struggling, people. I don't like this. I don't like this weather. I'm so upset about everything, and I'm not okay. So it's a good thing we have Nathan. In case you are new here, I am not actually enjoying this book. This is a bit of a hate read, but it's for research purposes because I need to be able to talk about this book, and I cannot until I have finished it. It's not a good book. Don't read it. Please don't. Just watch the VODs of me reading it, and you will understand exactly why. I will also tell you why today as well. Oh, I didn't oil the stupid freaking thing. I have to stop moving so you don't get as annoyed as I am right now. I am actually surprised that you're streaming in this heat. Lulu, trust me, my own head is currently really not a place where you want to be. Trust me. So anything to help me get tired and hopefully sleep, which I kind of failed at last night. I was very tired after stream, took care of the cats, laid down for my first sleep, could not close my mind down. I did stay in the dark to give my brain some rest. Had dinner, did some reading, try to do a little bit of work, but I am just constantly thinking about the court case, right? I am just, even when I'm reading this, in the back of my mind, it's just going. And even though I was exhausted after stream because I'm trying. I'm genuinely trying to get tired here from this book and kind of overexerting myself because I need to be able to sleep. And at the moment, my stress levels are so high that I'm not able to sleep. I didn't sleep after stream. I didn't sleep this morning, and I tried really hard. It doesn't matter what kind of medication I take. My brain is really resistant to being closed off. I know this for a fact. Because when I had surgery and, you get like, you go to sleep, right? I fought. I physically fought the surgeons. This is not a joke. I wish it was. They needed to use a lot more anesthesia to get me down than is holy for my weight and my stature, right? So I know for a fact that my brain is just exceedingly resistant to shutting down in general. But with what is going on at the moment, it's actually, I wish I could stream longer, but then we have a chance that I'm going to say or do things that I could put my safety in jeopardy, so I can't. Oh, I thought you were going today. Oh, huh? What? Danny, are you going on the same day? Oh man, I envy people who can do that. I have to choose. Do I take a shower or do I do groceries? Oh my God. True Europeans prefer spring, autumn, and winter. I don't know. I don't know about that. I can't speak for everyone, but I know that I am desperate to move to the north so I can go away from the summer heat, at least. Star Strike Fleet Commander also productive this morning. Reworked bits and expanded my short story and a bookmark done. You made a bookmark! Show. I'll scan and post. Yes, thank you so much. I give out. Oh my gosh! Speaking of Discord, did anyone see what I came across in the book that I'm reading? Yesterday of all days, it was madness. The universe is scary. Uh-oh, my music. Hold on. I also have no idea what's playing because I just put on a mix of new music, so I genuinely don't know. Give up bottles of water because it helps me cycle the stash of water that I have, so that I don't have still water. This is, I mean, I have done this in the past when I had a little bit more easy access to the grocery store, but at the moment I really can't do that. But that's such a good idea, Doug. If you are able to, please remember that there's people out there doing really hard jobs in this weather, like being a delivery postman, delivery guy, packages especially, but also just your regular mailman. That's really a crap job when it's this hot, when it's this bright, and they deserve an extra little bit of at least some, love, just a little bit of love. Say thank you if you don't have water. Fill it out so you can drink during the session. Oh, I will go in 8 minutes, and we will start our first sprint. I have to pee anyway, so I'll go pee and I'll fill the water bottle. I mean, there's a little bit left. So, yeah, I mean, yes. If you have the opportunity to go to an exhibit of Van Gogh, I highly recommend you watch the Doctor Who episode of Van Gogh. It's fiction, naturally, but it will give you an actual feeling for a person, right? It will give you just a little bit of tangibility of who made those paintings, and it will give you such an interesting, what's the word I'm looking for? Not perception. The experience of being there, not witnessing necessarily the painting in real life, but literally the entire environment, like in the episode, it will just hit you differently. I promise you. Every time I mean, the first time I watched it, I was bawling. I was a mess. I could not even talk about it for a long time. It was so upsetting, and that's honestly. My phone is listening to me, for one. That I know for sure, because I'm realizing that there's very niche things that I mention on stream that I get like recommendations for on Instagram, which is really silly because I close the app down whenever I get an ad. I refuse. I don't know what's down there anyway, so I might as well just close the app and start over again. I refuse to look at the ads, but I've been noticing. I don't know where I was going with that because I got distracted. What Netflix series on Van Gogh? Doctor Who? On who? Blame the moon and military atmospheric shenanigans. I'm so confused about the world. I'm not kidding, Lulu. I was literally black and blue, partly because I fought the restraints. My arms are black and blue because you get strapped in. I had to remove my tonsils as an adult, which is such a silly surgery. But you get knocked out because you're an adult. Don't know why it's more dangerous when you're an adult as opposed to when you're a kid. Makes no sense. Don't want to know the details. It's okay. It's fine. I'm okay this time around. But I had my tonsils removed as an adult. And my arms black and blue, my back black and blue. I was just completely covered in bruises, and I was told that I didn't want to go under. And then I do remember waking up because the first thing I did was actually remove myself from the room that you're put in, so you can safely come out of your sleep, right? Because it's supposed to be a slow process. Not for me. No. I was like a old school. What are they called? I don't know. A zombie. I opened my eyes and I was out. The nurse had to chase me down. It's funny now because I'm like a decade away from the actual thing, but I'm not kidding. I fought everyone. I was not okay. I'm terrified of losing control of my own brain, basically. And I am so traumatized about how I was abused as a child, and my reality and the gaslighting. It was so extreme for so long, for 19 years of the first 19 years of my life. I genuinely doubt reality sometimes, which is why I don't like mind altering substances. I'm already struggling to remain in here and now, okay? So I don't need that, please. It's terrifying. But to the degree that I will actually fight people who are schooled to know exactly what a body needs to be, put in a safe sleep. It's kind of fascinating, but not very funny for the surgeons, I'm sure. Right. I was talking about that. Thank you, Wisdom. Hi, Nash. I was talking about the Doctor Who episode in conjunction with watching or going to the museum to see Van Gogh. The thing is, and this is coming back on my feed constantly, we have confused comfort for happiness. And that is that is a big mistake. Being comfortable is not always happiness. In fact, I would argue, and a lot of people would argue, that a little bit of strain will give you a lot more satisfaction and thus also happiness. Think about building your own, whatever it is, working on your garden, having your dirty nails and the smell of earth and green and nature is a lot more satisfying, I would assume, than having someone do it for you in a day and now it's just there. It's stale. And I'm sure that person put a lot of love and energy in it, but there's something about doing it yourself. This is just an example, right? And for the same reason, we have confused feeling happy and all those positive sounding words with content and comfortable with and happy with the emotional part. We have also confused with that. We need to feel the full spectrum of feelings. They're not bad. They show you what is important, what you should avoid, what makes you feel something. That beauty can make you cry as well, right? And I think if you add a little bit of more emotional damage on top of your visit to the Rijksmuseum, you will get so much more out of your money, I promise. Watch the Doctor Who episode of Van Gogh. It will break your heart, but that's what life is about, people. Come on. Do you look for creatures hidden in the painting somewhere? I got stuck at painters who are very good at painting skies. I love especially winter and spring skies are my favorite kind of skies. And there's this painter called Koekoek who is really good at it. And I saw his work for the first time in real life, and I did not want to move. Perhaps happiness isn't what you want, getting what you want, but rather getting what you have, which is what you would have wanted had you been smart enough to ask for it in the first place. I love that quote. That's amazing. Wednesday, I'm so confused. I'm sorry, Danny. Don't everything I say and do is in pencil for the foreseeable future. I will let you know when I feel like I can take responsibility for my life again. At the moment, I cannot. So let's just go see what Nathan is up to, right? And before I go, thank you so much for the follow. Yellow Melon Me, hello. And Adrian Sinclair Didman. Thank you so much for the follows. We are going into our first print. Now, if you're new and just gave a follow, I'm so sorry. But for the safety of us all, because this could invite some unwanted comments, which could be considered harassment even, because this could be an invitation for, the conversation to veer into a direction that I don't want it to go in, because this book is toxic. And if you have heard of the controversy, did it work? Yeah. You may think it was just about the cover. Yeah, I really wish. It's not. This guy, this Nathan, is a professional gaslighter and stalker. So let's get into it. I won't be muting myself for the duration of the readathon, which is the thing we are doing right now. And if you stick around for an hour, you're so very welcome to rejoin the conversation. I really apologize for the temporary lurk, but it's just, you know, I have to protect the community and myself, and for that reason, it's just temporary. Okay, we've got this. Let's get to it. I'm going to put down my mic though, because I will get upset. But please remember, my real life at the moment is so upsetting that I would rather be reading something that is upsetting than be in my actual brain. So don't you worry, I'm doing this on purpose. If you're going to join me in something, please let me know. I would love to know. But if you're just keeping each other company in chat, that is all good as well. Because staying alive is not easy and a full-time job, and it's so valid if that is all you can do today. So whatever it is, we got this. I'm sorry, Teddy. Good luck, everyone, and I will see you in half an hour. I do like how wait, you don't hear like a buzzing now, right? I know I need to replace my earbuds in general, but you don't hear him, right? Or her. It's called Gaia Top, in case you're wondering, and it's a tabletop fan. 3 more hours. Okay, you've got this. Torchwood spin-off, and we're all about. I'm not actually up to date on Doctor Who, I have to admit. Oh, do you do these online, Blue, or do you have because I know there's a kind of a row of websites that some people go over for their daily puzzles. Do you do this as well? Gnarly, hello. How are you doing? Oh, shit. I now see your message. Okay. Shoo, shoo, shoo. No, I meant choo choo. No, I didn't. I meant Nathan. It is on. It says it's on for me. Okay. All right. We left off at the leopard print that Nathan refused to wear, which is so lame. So lame. See, I wear contacts, so having a fan like 10 centimeters removed from your face is really inconvenient. But if I put it there, it's too low. I should just stop complaining. Hold on, let me fill my water bottle before I forget. I had to pee. I'll be right back. back. Oh, thank you, Grish. Hi. I just filled it. To think I was hoping that I could do this in 9 days. I'm halfway through the book. So I jinxed myself so bad. I shouldn't have said anything. We buy the non-animal print options. This is so lame. So lame. I don't think I can. Doesn't do it. Oh, I missed a streak. I think I missed a streak. Who had a streak? Lulu! You have a 55 stream streak. Thank you so much. And thank you for your 3 stream streak, Grish. Thank you. You were there? Yeah. I do. Where's my pen? Who took my pen? Good dang it. Found it. It was me. Thank you, Lulu. Oh my god! Oh no. See, listen, I haven't even turned the page. Please. I was just thinking, am I actually going to be able to turn the page without having to freak out? No, of course not. So, Nathan, ice hockey player, Aaron is her partner. Broken arm. Why? No one knows. Never actually explained, apparently. So he's gonna do her training with her, I guess. And for some reason, they've agreed to not sleep together for the coming 2 months because the distraction. I don't know. It's just a trope that they're doing basically. But they're not exclusive. And Anastasia, the girl, has been making that very clear from the very beginning. She does not want a relationship. She's too busy. She wants to go to the Olympics. Okay. He was a fuckboy basically until after 3 years together at school. Now suddenly he wants her because she doesn't want him basically. And he has cornered her, and now she has Stockholm syndrome. But she's here saying for the coming two months that they're training while Aaron, 2 months, recovers from his broken arm. She says, I'm not going to freak out if you have a conversation with another girl because he keeps dodging a call, but it's his dad. Who knows why he's dodging a call? Because his mom died. He has severe migraines on the most entertaining moments. And I don't know. But basically Anastasia is saying, again, that they're not exclusive. He's not really taking it seriously. And then she reiterates, I do mean it, by the way. Like, I don't expect you to be celibate for 2 months. And then Nathan replies, Anastasia, I'm about to cock block you at every available opportunity. You can do whatever you want. Obviously, italics. But good luck trying to fuck someone that's not me. She doesn't want to be exclusive with you, dude. Next sentence. Anastasia. Her eyes brightened, heat flushing her cheeks instantly. Is that supposed to be endearing? Feels like possessive and toxic. Because it is. He had a migraine after he infiltrated her apartment. Because he got so upset about not being able to reach her, he gave himself a migraine. And then he basically broke and entered into her apartment and into her bedroom. And then he collapsed from a migraine. Dude, you shouldn't have been there in the first place. But this is the insanity of this book. It does things, it calls them out, and it still frames them as romantic. It's madness. And I don't understand how people get through this. But I seriously think it's because I skipped smut. I'm not here for the smut. Don't like the smut. I don't like any of what is happening here because it's framed as romantic. And that is my problem. Had it been framed as, hey, this is a toxic relationship, but they're gonna have a non-consensual spicy scene in a Uber with 4 of their friends who do not know that they're going to do something spicy. So great, right? And I think that's why I see this, because I am not impressed with the smut to begin with. And now I've decided that this is so toxic, I definitely will not deal with the smut, because it's not funny to me when it's surrounded with all this abusive behavior. They're on a fast track to a true crime episode. This is not okay. No, actually, I was just ranting about him. KP, welcome in. How are you doing? It's madness. I don't get it. Oh, but you know what? I'm not done. I know how it ends, by the way. So I also know that it's not gonna end well. Henry has also not been brought up in a while, so lost cause. Yeah, Tori. Well, back to the relief, if you can believe it. I'm so sorry, Kippy. I'm here until the book is done. So I do need to get some pages in today because I do need this to be over at some point so we can actually talk about the book holistically. I don't know. Whoa! No, I need to go. Okay, hold on. I need to get back to that. What? I can't unpack that right now, but that goes deep. What? Such and self out so much that he manufactured his own migraine. Yeah, no, actually, actually, this is no joke. That's what happened. It's insane. It's actually insane. It's amazing, and it would be as funny as I am trying to make it if it was framed as toxic, but it's not. And this is my problem. People think this is actually romantic, and are complaining that nothing happens. And I get it. I get it because there's not a lot of smut. This is true. There's a lot of toxicity and gaslighting and stalking, but somehow that doesn't. People aren't aware of it. I've listened to a few reviews, people who read the book and are talking about it, or have talked about it. I don't think any one of them talked about the stalking. And that's baffling. It's really baffling. I can't judge this. I don't know. I don't know what they eat. But she probably does need a little bit more protein. But I know that Alyssa, who I think won the Olympics, originally quit because of eating restrictions, and the only way she allowed her team to convince her to get back to figure skating was if she was allowed to just eat what she wanted and not be put on a diet. So I'm not sure why this is necessarily framed as an eating disorder when it should have been framed as a problem of the sport itself and not Erin. Yeah, Erin is but it's intrinsic in the sport. Yeah, she won, right, KP? That's who I mean. And I know that she was out of the sport for a little bit, and her comeback into which launched her into the Olympics was with the with her rule of not being put on a diet and not being policed when it came to food. And it turns out if you actually just take care of your body, you perform a whole lot better. So it's. I mean, I know that a lot of people say she didn't do any research for the ice skating part, but yeah, she won gold, and she's gorgeous. I love her so much. She, as far as I've seen and what I know of her, she is golden. But I predicted they're framing it as an eating problem for Anastasia when one, Erin is the one who put her on this diet. So she is not. She doesn't want to. She does want. She has made it clear that she does want to eat several times, and not. Speaking from someone who suffered from and still struggles with ED, she doesn't respond as someone with AD when confronted with food. Not at all. It's Erin who put her on the diet, but it is intrinsic in the sport and a lot of women's activities, I will say, to be restricted in food. Because we are told that we need to be as small as possible for so many reasons that I can't go into now because I have to deal with Nathan. But she proves that being healthy is not the same as being skin and bones. What do you know? Plus, someone with a different body type than I do I know for a fact could, and there are a lot of people who will be massively more flexible than I will ever be, even though I have over a decade of yoga under my belt. There's just things I could not do. But I know people who would be considered overweight. Oh my god, I could learn a lot from those people. You need to be healthy. That is the important thing. But they're framing it in this book as that it's her problem, when it's one, Erin is putting her on a diet that she doesn't want to be on, and two, it's the sport. Do we still use channels? Well, there's personal recommendations at the moment, so I put them on my TBR. Just fact. And the book club is turned off, and once it's turned on, you can still put the books that you recommended to me personally on there if you want, but then I'll be a little bit more discreet in whether I accept it for the book club. Does that make sense? A forward roll, I did some judo. Is it called judo in English? I could probably do that still. I mean, I'm pretty flexible, but I promise you, I'm not nearly as flexible as you might expect. Not at all. I have back problems. quite badly. Hi, Storm. We had a storm yesterday. Did you have storm? I loved it. It was amazing. Didn't do anything for the temperature. Now Nathan has suddenly become a nutritionist or something because he knows about all the symptoms of malnutrition. How? Why would you, an ice hockey player who really doesn't care about diet at all, why would you know this? Changes to your menstrual cycle. Oh my god. He did not just ask her. He did not just ask her about a period. What? Nathan, this is not something that you would know to ask about. You wouldn't. You just wouldn't. This is hilarious. This is hilarious. What do you mean? I'm gonna get a migraine. Exactly. They're talking about her diet. Erin put her on a diet, and it's not good. Okay, so I don't know. Erin is not a fully fleshed character. It's sad, really. And he's being blamed for a lot of things that I feel like he doesn't deserve. But he put her on this diet, and she is not getting enough calories. And I get that's pretty easily figured out, right? You can figure that out. But the problem is that he is now, after figuring out that she's not eating enough, mainly protein, which is really easy to do to not get enough protein. As I feel like, but maybe that's just me. And he is suddenly going into question mode. Have you always bruised as badly as you do now? Bruising badly can be a sign of nutrient deficiency. Are you tired a lot, anxious, irritable for no reason? Changes to your menstrual cycle? Literally, that is how it's... Because he's her skating partner. He's her skating partner. Erin is the skating partner who broke his arm, but it's never explained why and how. Well, apparently with his friends. He was hanging out with his friends and he broke his arm. Now, I don't know what he was doing with his friends, but I do know that you don't just break your arm. I broke my elbow, and that was really violent. So either he is really clumsy, which I find highly improbable, being an ice figure skater, and I've seen ice figure skaters catch themselves from falls that were just inhuman, but because they're so highly attuned to their bodies, it's just reflex, right? Reflex. So it just doesn't make sense. Yes, I did, Wisdom. I was trying to kung fu a bush, and I lost, clearly, because I didn't get out unharmed. The bush is fine. In fact, I'm terrified of the bush. I haven't confronted it in about a year now. I genuinely don't even use that road anymore. I'm so scared. It's so stupid. Don't talk about. It's been a year. Actually, it's been a year since I broke my elbow. So I should know, okay? God, fucking that. Wait, I need to. Uh, uh, uh. How do I even? No, you know what? This deserves a box. This deserves an entire box. Use Kung Fu Panda. Nah, I'm good, Lulu. I'm avoidant. If it hasn't been clear yet, I would rather just avoid. Whenever possible, I will. So, you know, that bush is living there, has been living there for a long time. I am new to this town, so I'll leave it be. It belongs there. I clearly don't belong here. That much we know. What? Wait, doesn't make sense. I'm also pretty sure that she, being on her way to the Olympics, would know about this as well. Actually, so this whole thing doesn't make sense, and it feels like a distraction, to be honest, from the gaslighting. Well, if you look at it from the standpoint that it's toxic, yes, it does. It actually does. He is priming her. He is priming her to be completely subservient and never say no because it doesn't work. It doesn't work. He will keep pushing until she gives in. I'm not saying she gives consent or even says yes. She just gives in. I think we have 1 minute left until our little timer goes off. Can you even see? I really can't see what's happening out there. I'm sorry. What the That doesn't make sense. So apparently the ice rink is broken. So now they have to use just the one ice rink. Hold on. Okay. We're taking a 10-minute break, sort of. I know I am yapping constantly, but that's kind of the point. And I promise, outside of the readathon, I mute myself so you don't have to hear this. And I also don't expose myself to this amount of absurd, whatever this is. Hold on, I have to finish this thought. So the reason they got put together, even though they go to the same college, university, is because there were two ice rinks, one for the figure skaters and one for the ice hockey players. But the ice hockey players, their ice rink got destroyed by, doesn't matter. So they are forced to use the same ice rink, which means, conflicting schedules and stuff. And apparently, don't ask me why, maybe you know, the breaking of one of the two ice rinks and the merging of their schedules on the ice also means that now they have conflicting times in the gym, which I don't know why. How does that work? Am I just losing my mind? It's possible. It's very possible. The fight with a particular rugged cross-season bush called... What? I'm not trying to pronounce that. I couldn't. Which can withstand hurricanes, karate chops, and kung fu kicks for its entire... Listen, if you had seen me fly, you would have been impressed. Right? I really gave it a go. But at the end of the day, it just won, and I lost. I don't recommend anyone breaking their elbow. Luckily, it wasn't too severe, and I wasn't in like a cast for too long. but it hurt a lot, and it's every time I bump it, I basically feel like it's breaking all over again. It's pretty intense. It wasn't fun, especially not your dominant hand. You would be surprised at how much you turn your arm. Just this movement is, you do that a lot, really. So don't do it. Don't do it. Don't fight bushes. Just be nice. Um, I read three pages. We can't do this, okay? I need to read more because I don't want to be in this book until Christmas. I cannot. Uh, because you had it a while to begin with. What do you mean? What do you mean, Lulu? Um, the cast on my elbow? It kind of was actually. It was me. I was the moving target. The bush was just stagnant, and it will be there long after I leave this town. I took away Jerry's bike. The bike was fine. That was the upsetting part. The bike was fine. Butterfly. There's a butterfly. There's been a lot of butterflies. Finally, finally. Oh, that reminds me. I need to put out water. If you want to help with butterflies, you could make sugar water. There's recipes online, and you can put out water for the butterflies because, especially in regions where there's not a lot of flowers, you can attract butterflies by doing this, but also just take care of them when they get lost and to have no food. This also works for bees, by the way. I have a special plate where you can put it in that has like rocks in it. You can look it up. I'm not sure what it's called, but I put sugar water in there, and it attracts bees and butterflies. Don't just think about your mailman. Think about the butterflies. Oh, hello, Valerian? What am I supposed to do with your name? Please let me know if I'm butchering it, and thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. Chigoda works for hummingbirds too. Do we have? I don't think we have hummingbirds in the Netherlands. That would be amazing if we did, and heartbreaking because I am not going to meet them. Mm, in the Bible. Okay, Google. They only live in the Americas. Oh, but you might see. Oh, you. I actually did Google. I didn't mean to. Hold on. We do have a moth that look. Oh, I had one of those in the house recently. I'm pretty sure because it was huge. Vincent was so angry at me that yeah, I'm pretty sure it was this one. It's gorgeous, and I saved it. I let it out. But we don't have hummingbirds. I'm sorry. I have done just that, Wisdom. I have done just that. It's going pretty well. I saw at least 4 different butterflies this morning, and last year I saw a huge yellow one for the first time in this region, and I really hope that they come back. Are we okay? It's so hot in here. It's really stupid, and I might actually um, give the cats a little bit of a wet cloth in their necks or something. Because I have these mats, these cooling mats for my cats, but they don't use it. They sit on every freaking square, especially the ones that you don't want them to sit on. But I get them a mat that is especially made to keep them cool, and they just refuse. And it's a rectangle, but it's the same thing, right? Why? What is that? Oh, I don't think I'll ever see a hummingbird in real life. Not in the wild. Not in the wild. Hi, Nerves. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. Why would you not be able to? Do you not have somewhere like a window? You could maybe make something outside your window. Mm. Rinky will not tolerate moths in the house. As soon as she smells moth, yeah, same here, wisdom. And I do try to save the moths and stuff because it's just upsetting. Mosquitoes? I don't care. You can have all the mosquitoes, Winston. Hi, Riku. How are you doing? You have hummingbirds? I'm so jealous, Gippy, because they're adorable. They're so cute and so pretty. But this is not the place to be when you want a hummingbird. Well, Tori, it's at the moment they do lie on the floor and in the bathroom because I have carpets. To try and cool down because they're also overheating. It's 30 degrees inside this home. It's really they don't like this at all. They don't want to play. They don't want to eat. I had to move their feeding time already, which is really ridiculous. But I feed them in the evening now when I have dinner as well after my first sleep, as opposed to 5. So they do want to cool down, but they just refuse to lie on the mat, and I've had it for a few years. So I don't know. I don't understand. It's made for them. As in, like, cats are supposed to respond to this stupid thing, but no, just teasing me from there. Juice is lying belly up. Hi, Millie. How are you doing? Oh, oh, I'm sorry, Lulu. Yeah, that will happen. That's so stupid. I don't get it. They're a bit shocking at first because they're gonna move like insects darting around. Yeah, I can imagine, especially if you've never seen one and you don't expect it, or your brain doesn't register as a hummingbird. I get that. So it's a good example of not judging a book by its cover because you never know what's inside. God. I really sorry my volume is really broken because my nerves are really strained, but I'm starting to honestly think that yes, this was here in the beginning, the 18 plus content, because someone said yesterday that one of the reasons she doesn't like to show her face is because people who are not of age are going to read this and there's nothing she can do about it. Well, first off, that warning, 18 plus content, could and should have been somewhere visible and not where only employees of a store look. But I'm starting to feel like this was a marketing stunt as well. The Poppy cartoony thing was really well thought out. Actually, I did a little bit of marketing in my day, and it's really starting to feel like everything about this was manufactured. Do you see where I'm coming from with the heat? I'm not, Millie. I'm not. I have a little tabletop fan that is stressing me out, but also it's keeping me alive. We are going into a power hour, the goal of which is to try and practice flow. Now, don't be alarmed. The practice isn't actually being in focus non-stop. The practice is starting your task and getting back to it once you get distracted, and you will find that you're able to focus for longer and longer. I like to do this through reading, but you can do it with everything. It doesn't matter. Maybe you have a hobby or play an instrument, whatever it is that you want to do. I invite you to join me in this power hour. Now, if you want to stay in chat and keep each other company, that's lovely too. You are valid. You are important. And I apologize for what Nathan is about to do. So I'm gonna not shut up, keep myself unmuted, and I will see you in an hour for our last break. Good luck. That's okay, Lulu. That's okay. You make sure that you are okay first, yeah? Oh, cool dog. Yes, please. Oh, I wasn't done. And I need to go a little bit away from that thing. Not Nathan saying that Aaron. My God, the projection. Wait, where'd it go? See, she wouldn't be doing that if she had an actual ED. Um, I'm guessing. But actually, what do I know? I know nothing. You mean he tried them on when he bought them? He didn't? Why would he not? He did in the first two stores. The first store doesn't have anything for men, the second doesn't have anything that goes over my thighs, but the third is perfect. So how is it now a problem? What? Nathan, man, I don't know. Well, I have to give it to him that if this is what she's eating, which is basically just veggies, I don't know what's up with Aaron, because, again, he's not a fully fleshed out character, in my opinion, but he does have a point that she needs more protein, but honestly, that whole thing, those symptoms, makes no sense. It makes no sense. Mm, okay. Yeah, same Toby. Yeah, actually, now you say that. Oh my gosh, I have been going to the library my entire life. If I was even seen in the wrong section, I would be scolded. You're right. Oh my gosh, June 21st is the summer solstice, the longest day period of the year in the northern hemisphere. Could you take back the start part of the summer, because I'm not mentally stable enough to deal with that fact. Blue. Can we say that it's the beginning of winter, because it's on the horizon, right? Right. Oh, Toby, you're making such a good point. Yeah. And welcome in. Hi. How are you doing? See, so many thoughts. She's trying to tell her coach that they're not dating, but she can't even finish the sentence because apparently the way that Nathan looks at her is the answer. It doesn't matter that Anastasia is saying and has been saying and you know doesn't want to be exclusive and thus not dating. She's not even allowed to say that out loud to her coach because of the way Nathan looks at her. And see, I know on its own, on their own, these instances that I call out don't have to be toxic. But I promise you, these stabs are not only the only moments where I've been freaking out. They're just moments that I thought would be pivotal. It turns out that there's too many anyway. What's Mary? Hi, controller. I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. Same, Blue. I'm kind of worried. Uh, I feel it like it's a trap. Controller, behave. Behave. It's too hot. Please. Please behave. Uh, Christmas? I am dreaming of Christmas. And snow. I really appreciate anyone who drops snow pictures in the Discord. Truly. The cats are just so sad as well. They're just hanging all day long. What the hell? Thank you, Blue. When you put it like that, it's not even that bad. Truly, I feel like that's manageable. We can do that. We can make it to Christmas, right? We can do that. No problem. There's a series. This book is a series. You know that. There's more where this came from. Here, another amazing two lines. His happiness is a comfort, and it's proof he isn't feeling nervous like I am. Proof that he doesn't realize that that if this little experiment fails, I might finally break. What? His happiness is a comfort, but him realizing that him not realizing that this might be the thing that breaks her. How does that make sense? Oh, wisdom! Don't say that. Don't say that. You can't say that. This is not the year to say silly things. I feel like this is really this year is. I don't know what's in the air, but I don't like it. And if that happens, you will get all the blame. Just so you know, it's we have proof. Wisdom, it was you. Yeah, the winter solstice, but to be the summer. What? The controller? Right, Gaby? It has to be. And I feel so stupid. Well, honestly, it just shows that my life is really devoid of AI. But I genuinely hadn't considered that. But it has to be at this point. Oh my gosh, but that means that we've been flooded with AI books for so much longer than we realized. because this was released in 22. Oh no! Oh, don't break my heart. Please. 22. First published in Great Britain by Hannah Grace in 22. Interesting. Well, you do realize that what we, the public, get is not what exists, right? They're so far ahead of what we are allowed to have, especially when it's free. No, it just doesn't make sense, Billy. It just doesn't make sense. Because how can someone's happiness be a comfort when it's a clue that they don't understand how important something is for you? So important, in fact, that you might break. That doesn't make sense. Those two say it should be upsetting that he doesn't realize that her entire life depends on him taking this seriously, right? So, in the same breath, saying his happiness is a comfort, but also a clue that he just really doesn't give a shit, because by now he should know how important her career is, but he just doesn't care. Yeah, exactly, KP. You can tell by the spurious marketing and immediate success that is a corporate product, and maybe it's just because they've become more sloppy. If they got away with this, if this is AI, right, and they didn't just get away with it, it was a huge success. Like, people still adore this book, and to this day do not necessarily clock that he is a stalker to begin with. There's a show on the way about this series, or this book at least, or a movie. And if they got away with this in 22, and just look at how sloppy they're becoming, just in general with AI, putting it in movies, putting it in music, it's everywhere. But they got away with it, and now they just want money and profit faster and faster, and they know we're gonna consume it anyway. Because we're tired. We're tired of life and work, and we're being drained constantly. So, we're just making do, and if we're even alert enough to be able to spot it, right? And yeah, I could be absolutely wrong, but in that case, if it's not AI, it's just plain toxic. No matter how you spin it, what is in here is toxic. Now it has patterns that we recognize, but I feel like it's more because of sloppiness. It feels like if this is AI, there was a lot more time spent editing the work, but not necessarily fixing the plot, if that makes sense. And it feels like they're just like they do with capitalism. They're chopping off as much of what is perceived to be redundant until our clothing don't last more than 3 washing cycles, and then they fall apart because we are now willing to buy something that is basically non-existent. That's how far they've gotten away with, making profit, and we lose with it. And that as well, the controller, the attention span just isn't. You don't clock it because you're not spending enough time with it. And even if you are, you're probably distracted and messaging people, checking your social media, and all. And that's the thing. This is marketed as romance and smut. So people go into this, breezing through everything just to get to the smut. And I know this for a fact, not everyone, but a lot of the people who got this book recommended read it for the audacity of the smut. And because I, for one, don't like that, period, not just this book, but in life. And while I intended to read through those scenes for your entertainment, because it would make me uncomfortable, and yes, I would stop and skip when I felt too uncomfortable, but that was the point of me reading this book. Seeing how explicit it got and how problematic it was in conjunction with the cover. But because it's so problematic, the smut isn't only uncomfortable for me, it feels actually dirty. So I genuinely can't read the smut. And I feel like that is what makes me more able to see through the crap. Because I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. He started out lying and cornering her and stalking her. That is how they start. She avoided him. She tried to stay away from him. And he stalked her and he cornered her. And he basically pressured and coerced her into a relationship. And still, even though she now says, well, I don't want to be exclusive, he is now pushing her to be exclusive, even though she's been very clear that she doesn't want a relationship. She's busy. She wants to go to the Olympics. She just doesn't care. But if you don't read for that, if you don't read with a bit of a critical mind, and you just want to get to the smut, you might not see this. Wait, what is that? And shitification of romance, setting for a portion of love merely because it's available, not because it's good. Oh, settling. I'm sorry. People do this. Yeah, it's sad, but this is very true. You shouldn't do that. Don't do that to yourself or to the other person. It's not fair for yourself or the other person to do this. So don't do that. Don't settle for Nate. There's better out there, and honestly, there's better for him out there as well. They don't fit together. They just have their lifestyles don't fit, and she doesn't want to be with him. And again, being sexually attracted to someone does not mean you have to now have the obligation to be in any kind of relationship with them, let alone actually have intercourse, right? I don't feel the need to have intercourse with every person I feel attracted to. I can admire them, and I might even have a tiny little crush on them, but that doesn't mean I have to have any kind of literal, physical relationship with them at all. This is what is problematic about this as well. And knowing where this is going, if it had been marketed as toxic, it could have been a story to show you what covert abusive behavior looks like. But that's not what's going to happen. That could have happened, and I was holding out hope for that, but I'm very happy that I looked up the ending, because I don't think I would have been able to keep this book alive. I think I would have started shredding the book if I had gone into the ending blind. If the most pure love is unconditional love, then we should start there and work backwards, resolving our flaws with tools like rationale, compromise, and honesty. This way we might stand a chance. The term shitification? I have never heard of this. I need to make a note of it, actually, so I can look it up. It's the most man-made term I've ever read, and it shouldn't exist. I didn't know it existed, but the behavior has been around for a while. I mean, isn't this something that was a bit of a joke in, I think, 90s movies, probably? Yes. This is 50 Shades of Romance model, but believing love is the happiness of your partner to the detriment of self. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly what is happening here. But also, no one cares about her needs or boundaries at all. She's not even allowed to explain to her coach that they're not dating, just because Nathan gives her the look of I am so much, and just because he's in love with her doesn't mean that she's in love. Hi, Bobby. How are you doing? And Millie is correct at the end of the day. What idea? What are we doing? Who is the tyrant? Wait. Oh, no, no. He's calling her a tyrant for taking her. Yeah, yeah, that's sad. It's sad, really. Which is why it's beautiful to see that there's so many artists who are just like F it and going full on artist mode, and a lot of people are responding to it as well, and are actively trying to support products and brands that they know are owned by specific people and not ultimately lead back to one person or two. Really? What's happening with maps? Google Maps. Why won't you do it? Do it, Millie. Yeah, exactly. Put them on Substack. Who knows? Who knows? You might start a movement. You never know. Yeah, I agree. If you Google, you're better off using like Duck or something, because it's just ads. I feel like it's just ads and paid results. I'm not sure what's being censored could be. But oh yeah, but I agree with the latter part. Yeah. Hmm. I'm afraid of any of the website that plants trees, because I don't know if you want to know this, but I found out that big companies use. There's apparently this rule that says that companies are allowed to chop trees as long as there are new trees being planted. Thing is, if you cut down ancient trees, we nor the grandkids of our grandkids of our grandkids of our grandkids will ever get back what is lost. But yeah, apparently if there's a certain quota reached of new baby trees planted, there's an allowance to cut ancient trees, and that doesn't add up. I didn't know about this, and a lot of people who've been planting trees have accidentally been helping corporations, and I don't know how this works in every country, but I'm pretty sure in America that there's sad things going on, but it's probably a country different. Oh, I mean, you shouldn't trust anything that's online. Anything. I mean, I have my camera covered on here, for example. I never have my camera of my phone up or showing. I make sure that it's just at least the camera doesn't work. I know it still listens, but at least it won't make any secret Roomba pictures of me. You know what I mean? Well, is it humans? Because I don't feel like it's humans. I feel like it's the people who actually truly deeply believe in the cult that adores money. A controller. I'm afraid that we're not being informed properly. They're very clever. You know about these though, right? With them secret Roomba pictures. Yeah, same really. I'm assuming that Big Brother has been here for a long time. 1984 started a long time ago. Just to be sure, you know. You can call that paranoia. I call that I would rather not have even more deepfakes or actual pictures of me online, because I know that they're out there already being online. So yeah, it's just becoming noticeable because I feel like they're just getting sloppy. I feel like they're just getting sloppy. It's kind of scary, isn't it? Oh God, wait, what? Oh, so he didn't even watch a YouTube video or two. Okay, okay, cool. Could have done some homework, but alas, we don't take the Olympics serious. Got it, got it. See, and this is a. Shh, wisdom, don't tell. I hope you know that love isn't the goal of self-sabotage for someone else's happiness. You don't need to sacrifice your peace for someone else's calm. In fact, I would say that's a red flag if it's expected. That's not the point of love and romance. Exactly. There is a giving aspect to it, but it doesn't have to be so masochistic. True relationships be should be mutual and always promoting growth. I fully agree with this. Go KP. You know. Anthropic? Where is Anthropic? It does sound familiar, Bobby, but I'm not good at names for one. Where do we find Anthropic, and what did they do? Could you elaborate a little bit? I'm curious. I feel like he should have just watched a YouTube video before they got on the ice. This is wasting time. That's sad. No, I appreciate it, KP. It's okay. And very welcome, actually. Cloud. Oh, that's why I recognize it. Okay, okay. See, just so you know, I'm not against AI, but I am against abuse of power, and that includes AI. That's really it. I'm just not for people who abuse their positions of power, their privilege. Basically, people who abuse. That's it. I don't agree with that, and it really doesn't matter who you are or what form it takes. If it's abusive, I'm not for it. And when it comes to AI, it's just not going well, and it's destroying the world. There's towns being tortured with the noises, and it's just bad all around. And if we don't have the technology to sustain it, we should just wait a little bit longer. We can do that. But we're living in a society that has been trained to be addicted to instant gratification. And that's really it. Yeah, this is true, controller. You know, it's sad. It's sad, and there really is no start to unravel it. It's really a big problem, but we have to try. There's from OpenAI, who left and started as a more transparent company focused on developing AI in a safer way. The US government demanded they have total access to their products for things like mass surveillance and making Terminators. Anthropic said no, and now the government on a crusade to crush them. Of course, makes sense. That's sad and says a lot. Just ask yourself why a lot of it is free. Why would something be free? Especially something like this, when there's so much money involved. Why do we get general access, and are we being confronted with AI for free everywhere? Why is it being pushed right down our throats? Now, I don't have the answer to that, but I think it's important that we ask questions always. And these are a few that I have in my mind. But why is it so important that we use it, though? Why do we need to use it? Why are they also making it almost impossible to avoid AI in its entirety? Like when you Google, it's really hard to turn that off completely, which is why I removed myself from Google in general. I think you're going in the right direction, Wisdom. It's kind of scary, really. I don't know about this. What do you think the end goal of AI is? What are they doing? What are they working towards? Because we're just starting, right? We've just been exposed to the endless possibilities of AI. Where are we going? I can't stop thinking about that movie, which I have always said from the very beginning that I saw it. This is not a comedy. This is horror. This is speculative horror. With the guy that gets frozen in the now, but he's like one of the not the brightest of humanity, and then he wakes up a few hundred years later, and he's the smartest person around because of a mistake, really. He was supposed to be woken up sooner, but the company got went bankrupt or something, and now he's in the future. Idiocracy. Thank you, controller. I keep thinking of that movie. And I have always said this is not funny at all. I didn't think that was a funny movie at all. It was a great movie, but it wasn't a comedy. I had no fun. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, KP. I second that. It was a documentary, yeah, actually. It was just the intro of that movie. Just I was so upset. I don't know. Not all men, as in the humanity, right, Bobby? Not just men. I feel like it's a few, and also I am not fully convinced that it is something that those people who are going for wealth and power were born that way. I don't believe that. I feel like this is all taught behavior. Because I look at kids, man, and look at how happy adults are who have deprived themselves of childlike happiness and who are allowing themselves to just be a kid for a little bit, or when they get kids themselves and play along with their kids, and how happy those people are who truly surrender to the childlike side of themselves. And you'll realize that, hey, maybe we're being kind of silly. Maybe we should actually be frolicking. And the cake really was a lie. Bye. I need to read some. Yeah, I'm gonna try. I'll suspend my belief for this because otherwise I'm just gonna lose my mind. Actually, Okay. Okay. She had no chance. Lola is her only friend, and she's not a friend. Okay then. Why? So she has made it so clear. We just went through it that just because we are now partners and we have to take it seriously. So no sexy time. I don't want to be exclusive. And he didn't take her planner seriously with all her training schedules and stuff. But now he's her partner, Nathan. He is forced to bow to the planner. Because it's so horrible that the girl that he says he wants to be in a long-term relationship with, out of nowhere, is organized and ambitious and, is actually doing something with her life. But he has to bow to it now. Okay, cool. So she doesn't want to be in a relationship, but now he has not just wormed himself into her freaking pants, he is also her training partner. Not necessarily his fault, but we trade together, we brush our teeth side by side, and cook the same meals. I have no clue what we are, but I like it. Dude. You do know. You just won't accept it. And you're not gonna leave her alone until she's tired of saying no. That's what is happening. You do know. Having her here all the time but not being able to touch her has been difficult. Continues to be difficult. And will likely only increase in fucking difficulty. I mean, yeah. Because touching her for training doesn't count, right? It has to be sexual. Otherwise it doesn't count. He is saying that actually, now I realize it, she doesn't say anything about my $10 as she sits next to me. I'm not sure what the $10 is about because I'm seriously not catching everything anymore. Concentrating on her work. She's doing homework. She lets her leg gently rest against mine. Touching. You're touching. This is where I'm at right now. Literally the next sentence. Grateful for leg touching. Because he's not getting in her pants. I find this problematic. In context of the entire book. On its own, I don't know. I don't know. But in the context of everything, knowing that he is actually touching her, just not the way he wants it. Just not a particular body part has been giving, oh my god, I can't even speak anymore, is getting attention. Just because of that, it's not enough. Mind, she didn't even want to be with him to begin with, at all. Period. No friendship, let alone this. But he's sad that all he gets is a leg touch. Their entire... Have you seen figure skating? Do you know how romantic that looks? How breathtaking when two figure skaters are completely in sync. It looks so sensual and romantic, and it's just ethereal, and it's truly a dream to have someone pay such attention to you. But a lot of these couples are not actually in a relationship because it's a work relationship. It's stressful. It's a lot of work to be a figure skater. It's not easy. But that doesn't count. That doesn't count as touching. Even though he is touching her in ways that if anyone else would do that, he would probably punch them. I don't know what that is, but maybe I should get into it. Oh no! Sure. Okay. I'm not gonna go into it. I mean, it would, changing your diet in that way when you've been told that you are too heavy and you need to eat a certain way. Of course, it's gonna be hectic, but that doesn't turn into an ED. It just means that you've been brainwashed. It's not exactly the same. Well, it overlaps. Never mind. I shouldn't go into this because it doesn't make sense. how suddenly Nathan is a nutritionist specialist, even though he admitted that he doesn't actually care. But alas, I don't know. All these college boys knowing how to cook is really funny because generally just people in general don't know how to cook anymore. No, that's not even gender related. I find that a lot of people just don't really know how to cook anymore. But they're all teaching Anastasia how to cook. Okay, that's kind of funny. Wait, if she has a calorie app, then she's known all along that she's under eating because the app would tell her. See, no, never mind. Never mind. Oh, okay. Oh, he's still there. Okay. See, Henry is really funny. I like Henry. I know he's being surrounded by very toxic masculinity, but he's doing fine. Friendships are important, Anastasia says, but so is living in a healthy environment. I overheard her say to herself. What? What do you mean? Wait, what? 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 What I. Oops. Okay. Oh no. Oh no. Hold on. I have to pee. I'll be right back. last moments. Three more pages. Three more pages. Nah, I read a little bit more today, which is good. But 430 pages. Oh God, I'm literally halfway through. This is bad. Okay, okay, we're gonna lock in. Okay, after today, we're good. We have to because this is not going well. Hi, Danny. How are you doing? I hope your day is going a little bit better. Oh, hold on. Then over here. And I am going to turn off the... Am I? Yes. The shield. We're gonna remove ourselves from here because we're not gonna read anymore today. We're just gonna have a little chat now. Okay, welcome in everyone. In case you were unfortunately put in temporary lurk, I'm so sorry. And let's welcome a few people in. Now we're on the topic. Hello, Good Boy here, and Mr. Frostbite, and Cyberworld Underground, and Brittany's artwork. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for the follows. And great names. Oh, you're doing great. Are you excited? Are you excited? I'm just flabbergasted. If you have any content creators who have made a review about this, I wouldn't mind you sharing a link in Discord, just in books, I guess, so I can dive into how other people felt and experienced this book. I'm wildly fascinated by the response this has gotten. One more hour. Oh my gosh, one more power hour. Let's go. I did listen to a few already, and it was just confusing. It was confusing. And the thing that confuses me most at the moment is how... I'm not sure who said it. Oh, that was sad. But someone said that nothing happens in this book, and a lot happens. Shall I try to find the smutty scenes? Low power hour. Yeah, just I don't know the word. I don't know what word I'm looking for. But don't put in too much effort when it's this hot, okay? It's okay. The world is not going to end, I'm assuming. Did I tab that, actually? $25 is literally 30 already here. It's very confusing. I'm not sure what happened because I've been very good at airing. Oh, I forgot about that sentence. Airing the house and stuff. Oh, okay. It happened already here. That's good. That's good. So it happened here. Yep. Found it. Found the Uber scene. It's on page 116. Okay, okay, okay. I mean, I don't want it to be pink. That's upsetting to me. I'll make it pink. Incubate. Just incubate! Well, this is a weird building. This is such a weird building to keep the temperature under control, because it's basically a greenhouse, and I've been really good with keeping it closed when I should, and having it open when I can, but I think I'm just gonna put it here. I think I'll know. it has been very moist. I'm sorry if you hate that word. It's the air has just been very thick. I feel like my laundry won't dry as well as I would like it to, for example, and maybe that's what is ticking the temperature up so quickly. I don't know. But I'm gonna check on the cats in a little bit. Tushy's over there. Kept everything closed. Well, yeah. Place with the airflow wasn't designed for the new type of windows we have now. Uh, and in the UK, it's really those houses, especially the older ones, were not built for the weather that we've been having in the last years. Really not. And with new builds, they just cut too many corners. They just cut too many corners. In the case of this building, all they had to do really to make sure that the temperature would be bearable and not as ridiculous as it is now. If you're not at home all day like me, you're not able to actually control the temperature as well as I am. And if you don't have AC, you're not going to survive, and your fridge is going to break. Actually, it's going to break. I know this for a fact because it happened the first summer that we lived here and we didn't have any sunscreens yet. Now we have sunscreens, so it's a little bit better. The thing is, they just skimped on the windows. There are windows made for this kind of exposure. They just didn't put in the windows. Now they had to pay for the sunscreens because it was truly torture in this building for the first summer that we lived here. It was also an extraordinarily hot summer, so it wasn't helpful. But they had to spend money on the sunscreens. We had to fight the entire summer for that, and it was actually torture. We could not get the temperature below 36 from May until November almost. I'm slightly exaggerating at the ending, but it started in May, where we said, "Hey, if this is May, we're not going to survive," and they pushed back. They just didn't want to believe us until stuff started to break, and even then it took months before they actually took action. And all they had to do when they first built this building was put in the proper windows. That's it. And in the winter it's cold, yeah. It's pretty much the same over here, gnarly. So please take care of yourself. Please drink water. Let's take a sip. Yeah, I think three fridges broke in total of people who went on vacation, and they came back and there was actual damage inside their homes. It was actually insane. Well, just sunscreens, and we gave them so many options to without too much cost update the building because there's so many options. Not just emotional damage. Now, well, the emotional damage was irreparable, and the thing is, that was also the summer that the raver neighbor was still living here. The first year was an experience, I tell you. My immediate neighbor was had some problems. He was failed by the system. Let me start with that. He was failed by the system terribly, and he was self-medicating for one and not sleeping. But he also had a sound system that belongs on a festival, in a studio, and he had that on 24/7. So yeah, that's also why I'm a little bit better at the summer heat at the moment. Plus, I don't have migraines anymore because that first summer was just so extreme that when I went outside at 30 degrees, I was relieved. That's how bad it was. While on vacation, yeah, early, yeah, it was really sad, and that was before our community was a little bit, demolished by certain situations, but we were just so distraught. Everyone was so upset about everything. the road wasn't finished, so we couldn't put out our trash, and we were forced to put our trash in a street over. And those people started to complain with us that the government wouldn't finish the road. Like, what am I supposed to do? Can you please not? What do you mean? We need to put our garbage outside. There's literally nowhere else. What? Actually, someone came to my door to scold me for the government's lack of movement. This town, I swear, and I know that every place has its quirks, and I really tried, but I give up, man. This town is insane. And every town is insane, but this flavor of insane, I am not made for this flavor of insane. My flavor of insane is also, specific. I had my first migraine in forever on Monday, gnarly. Probably because I am unable to talk about the things that I desperately want to talk about, but let's not go there. So I had a migraine on Monday for the first time. So I'm being careful. I'm being careful with my head, which is also why I'm not doing longer streams on non-streaming days, and I'm not sure I'll be able to for the rest of the week either. But just because it's too hot. It's too hot, and I need to make sure that the cats are okay, especially Toulouse, because Toulouse, one of my cats, isn't able to drink on her own, and I need to make sure that she is okay, mostly. She is silly. She doesn't understand that she's not supposed to lie in the sun, and I think she needs to drink now, actually. Now I think now I am looking at her. She's doing the mouth thing. Yeah, we're all a bit mad, gnarly. Every one of us. Yes, I was. I don't know. This town is just really doesn't vibe with me, and that's sad. It's really sad because I genuinely tried, and I was convinced that I was safe here and that I would be able to, through the years, be allowed to be on the, actually in the town and be considered of this place. But no, it doesn't work like that apparently. Hold on. What more did we have? Oh, and so basically we're all a bit mad, right? No one is actually normal. It doesn't exist. And some places are just better suited for people than others. I'm unsure what is happening in this region, but I also know that it's not necessarily this region. It's all over the country, that certain things that have been happening here are everywhere. It's not just here. I guess I'm just someone who is an easy target because I have no tether. I have no roots. I don't belong anywhere. So it's easy, right? Isn't that how it works in school already? If you're new and you don't have the character to be popular, you're gonna be the black sheep. Oh, I found it. Found another smut scene. I'm here. 233. Let's see. I might have to continue doing this tomorrow. Someone said nothing happens in this book, but that's really just not true. Planner. You belong where you are, even if well, I have accepted that maybe this, like literally this, just the internet's is where I belong, because here I find the people that I vibe with and the people that I have pleasant conversations with, and even if we don't always agree, at least we vibe most of the time, right? and are not mean intentionally and hurtful or actually dangerous, right? Right? Hopefully. We have our own flavor of madness, and it's okay. It's okay to be a little bit mad. It's just a problem when you start hurting other people. And the sad thing is, if you in your mind have any group of people considered as other, you have now built something in your brain that is not going to be able to distinguish fairness. And if your brain considers any part of humanity as not part of your humanity, it's going to end bad. There is no such thing. We're all human, and we all have the same feelings and wants and needs. Speaking of which, she has opinions and interests. On page 159, Nathan discovered that Anastasia, the girl that he wants to, own, has thoughts and feelings. I need to do this tomorrow. I have only found 2 smutty scenes in the first 120 pages. That is interesting. That is interesting. Interesting. The theories are enough to keep us entertained with this book. I did not expect that I would be running out of blue. Also, I have like 1 or 2 tabs left. I did not expect to be running out of tabs reading a romance. This is supposed to be fun. And it is, in a very twisted and masochistic way. So, it's okay. But I gotta go now. I gotta go take care of the cats. Lie down and close the curtains because I want to go sleep. I need to go sleep. It says the equilibrium of equality and fairness. Even if they start on an even level, the difference will cultivate. Yeah, it's It's sad. It's sad. I think it will only harm yourself as well if you think that there's such a thing as us and them, right? It's not just that you're hurting other people who you don't know, but you're hurting yourself because you're missing out. You're missing out on beautiful souls and stories and opportunities, culture, food, and I guess the point I'm trying to make is that once you have decided to give into that, the us and them, I'm afraid that you really don't get to decide where that ends because it's an emotional thing, I think. But I don't know anything. I have not studied any of this. I just know what is waiting for me tomorrow, and it's Nathan. So thank you so much for being here. I promise I'm gonna lock in the next week because we need to finish this. We're not doing this during Christmas. This is not the Christmas vibes. We'll do something else. I have plans for November, so we can't be still reading this book in November. Okay, we won't. I promise. I love you. Thank you so much for being here. Let's take a sip of water before we go. Almost finished it, so I'm doing good. Have you been drinking water? Please take a sip of whatever hydration you have close. Hi, Tadeo. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, look at the schedule to see what it means. When I say I'll be back tomorrow. How are you keeping up during this temperature? I have this blowing in my face, for one. And it's not even that fast. It could be... I'm a model. But I'm not really. So I'm going to continue not. Eat ice cream. Drink water. Take care of yourself. Try to be kind. And remember that we're all freaking human, okay? We all bleed red. And we all just want to be loved and understood. I promise. We all do. So, I hope to see you soon. Please don't worry. It's going to be okay. And love will win. I promise. We make it. Bye.